What's up, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in for another Wilson Garage video. Go over a few things before we get started on today's project. So on our last video we picked up 4 more subscribers, so that's awesome. Thank you for subscribing. You guys are awesome. Keep it going. Hit that subscribe button if you aren't subscribed already. Second thing, so we are doing some more work on the Civic, and I wanted to go over one thing, the ECU I'm having issues with. I actually contacted Honda and they recommended me replacing all the capacitors inside the ECU. When I hook up my laptop to the ECU, I'm not getting any signal from any of the sensors on the engine, like including RPM, stuff like that. So they recommended doing that, so we ordered that, and that should be here hopefully within the next couple days, maybe even next week, early next week. And we'll hopefully get that soldered in and we'll fix the ECU. If not, then we might have to source another ECU and redo all the Honda chip and everything again, unfortunately. But I mean, it is what it is. If that's what we gotta do, that's what we'll do. So on to today's video. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish mounting up the fuel pressure regulator. Need to drill a couple holes, put some nut certs in it, and get that 100% secured. And then we're going to start on this. So we bought a AEM Wide band for the Civic. And there's part number and everything for that. Seems pretty simple. So this wire just goes to the sensor, and then this wire goes over to our ECU, and it has inside here in the instructions what each wire goes to and whatnot. I'll try to cover it more when we get to that position. So yeah, this will be wired into the ECU, so like Honda can monitor air fuel, and then you can also set up some protection, like if it goes too lean, it will either pull ignition or something to where it tries to protect the actual motor if you go too lean. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to eyeball a couple spots, but pretty much you can see my 2 brackets. These brackets are actually going to be, I'm going to flip them upside down, but go right in here somewhere. We'll drill one and then do the other one a little more precise. Alright, there's that. Looks really good, in my opinion. Let's make sure it shuts. I don't think we're having any more issues with that. I got the fuel pressure set close. I'm not going to hook this zip tie up to it yet until it's actually running and I can make sure it's set correctly. So we figured out a few things on the Civic. First off, I'll show you. I had to swap out this for a actual good gauge because the other one I bought from O'Reilly's sucked. It was like 150 psi and wouldn't give me any kind of fuel pressure. So this is a good one. It is an older one I had on a different car. I kind of just stole it for the time being. And so yeah, so that's fixed. Then, so P28 factory 99 2000 ECU. I wanted to plug it in to see if it would turn on the fuel pump, and sure enough, plugged it in. Fuel pump primed just fine. I did contact Honda just to get some advice, and they want me to replace all the capacitors in the P28 ECU. Alright, I want to show you guys this last one. This is what we're attempting to do to fix the ECU, so hopefully that's focused. That's a little resistor. And so we've replaced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, and we got one more to do. Figure I'd try and bring you all along. I might actually move you to the other side because I'm right-handed. So pretty much what I'm doing is finding the resistor or the capacitor. And then I think this is it. Getting up the solder and then just kind of pulling the little capacitor out, kind of rocking it back and forth until it pops out. There's the old one. Also, what I've been doing is reading. Like this was 100 UF 10 volt. Make sure your capacitor matches. So 100 UF 10 volt. There's also a negative side, which is the line. Make sure you're going in the right direction. I've done this one at a time to kind of eliminate any kind of confusion. Pretty much what I do is I just, because there's a little bit of solder still left on it, just kind of hold it up to it, melt it, and then push it through. And same thing for the other side. And just kind of go back and forth. Until I push it all the way down. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just take your time. Do them one at a time. I've never done this before, so my first time. By my 8th capacitor, it's pretty easy. So I'll just also throw a little bit of solder in there. Check the other side. Got a little bit of solder coming out of this side, which is what I want. Make sure it's all the way through. And cut off your excess. Well, that's hopefully a fixed ECU. Alright, so we installed the ECU. Moment of truth. See if this fuel pump primes. Prime. So we'll see if it fires. No way! Awesome! Probably check for fuel leaks. So I didn't really film this part, but I routed my wire. It was back there, back underneath kind of the intake manifold area, and then I took this out. I think that's for your traction, or not traction control, your cruise control. And then I was gonna run it out of this grommet, but then seen that one below it, so I just kind of cut the middle out of it and then fed it through. So that was like really easy for the engine bay part. I mean, other than getting your sensor welded into your exhaust, as mine is an up pipe. I mean, that's literally all you do on the underneath the engine bay side. We're gonna end up putting the gauge on a pillar, on the A pillar. So that's kind of where I'm routing my stuff to. Okay, everybody, so we are back out here working on the Civic. I'm not really sure where I left off, but we're going to finish our wideband install, and we're going to work on everything that's inside of the car. We have a link in the description of the company that I bought the resistors from for the ECU. They also have a description on how to wire in a wideband into the OBD1 ECU. It's really simple, and I'll try to explain it the best I can as I go along. Yeah, nothing else really to say. I did pull a muscle in my back, so if I make some funny faces here and there, just make fun of me down in the comments. Alright, now that we got the two wires ran up here, I'm going to mount my gauge so I know how much wire to leave up in the A-pillar and take as much out as I can. I have a feeling I'm going to have to actually extend the wires that go to the ECU because this just ain't long enough. Okay. So, now we gotta find our pins from our ECU so we can put all these wires on it. Alright, so we want A 25 and 26, which is your first connector on your there, and they just want you to tap into these for the power and ground. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, so everybody, we're if you can hear it, it's actually running, and that is working correctly, and that's also working. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of, this is in lambda, I want to change it to air fuel, see how accurate it is from the gauge. But yeah, so this is pretty exciting. We're definitely on our way to getting this thing going, and yeah, you all are going to see the first drive. Woohoo! We're driving. Alright everybody, so the car is running. It's really close to being done. We just got to tune it, and really that's it. So you guys need to stay tuned. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to see the next video. If you want to see a sneak peek of everything we're doing, go to hit up my Instagram, KCWilson59, and you guys can see some stuff before we even post it on YouTube. Alright guys, till next time, we'll see you.